Welcome to the BackPageLead Vidcast. Wayne, Carey, how are you?
Very well, Charlie.
A great game last night, St Kilda and Geelong. Perhaps the best I've seen all season, I think. Physical, lots of great skills. St Kilda got really close, but didn't quite get there. Another defeat.
Yeah, look, it's often the way when things aren't quite going your way. And at the moment, let's be honest, the Saints have now lost 3 games by basically under a kick, I think it is. So. They've been a very, very, very good side. Some maybe even say great side without winning a grand final. And this year they just can't seem to pinch one. They showed a lot of heart, I thought. And if they continue to play with that sort of passion and that heart, they're going to win more games than what they lose. But it's very difficult from here on in. I mean, they've had a bit of bad luck go their way. They have, no doubt.
They're up all game against Geelong in round 1.
Yeah.
Got pipped at the end, then they had the draw against Richmond. I mean, it's been a case of what if so far.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, and everyone looks at everything that's happened off the ground and that type of thing. But when you're losing by less than a kick, I mean, this shapes a season. I mean, you've seen it year after year after year. There's been sides that have just missed out on the 8. And have lost, 5 or 6 games by less than a kick or, less than a couple of goals, really can shape your season. You really need to win those close ones to finish in the top 4. So definitely the top 4, well, you can categorically say out for the Saints now.
Yep.
Can they still make the 8? That's the big question. I still think they got, the nucleus of a very good side, but boy, they have to start winning these close ones.
Hawthorn started very slowly last year. I think one out of the first 7, and then. Yep. Barnes stormed their way home and obviously finished, I think, in 7th place.
Yeah, and when
that can be done.
That's right. When you're a good side, you've got, like I said, you've got the nucleus of a good side, and they still have that. I mean, we know that Lenny Hayes is out and they've got their issues, but confidence is an amazing thing, and when you keep losing those close ones, the confidence just gets eroded that little bit more. I mean, you'd have to wonder what they're going to do to come up this week, but. They're not far off the mark, so I'm still a Saints fan.
To make the 8.
Well, I still think they can make the 8. As you said before, Hawthorn did it last year, so why can't St Kilda?
Well, the reason they can't, I think, is their scoring power is just. I think they've got the 3rd worst points forward tally in the league at the moment, and they just seem to have a lot of trouble scoring. Certainly scoring quickly, and part of the reason is the captain, Nick Riewoldt, at centre half forward. Doesn't seem to be playing with an awful lot of confidence, and his kicking for goal has become almost sort of Ian Baker-Finch-esque. He's almost yipping it.
Oh look, he's the word champion gets thrown around far too easily. Nick Riewoldt is a champion. He's done it for long enough to be classified as one. He hasn't had a great start to the season. Been a few reasons behind that. One, the St Kilda Footy Club struggling, full stop. The delivery hasn't been fantastic. We know that they've struggled kicking goals. Every week that I've watched Nick play, he's had 2 or 3 opponents to beat. Okay, that's part and parcel. He's had that for the last, 8-10 years of his career. So we know that he can usually overcome that. But when the side's not playing well, that's when you expect your captain and your best player to stand up and kick those goals. Earlier in the year, we noticed that he had a different technique. He was bent over the ball, and everyone was saying, Nick's finally fixed his kicking woes. Well, it just goes to show you that kicking at goal has got nothing to do with technique. Kicking for goal is 90% above the shoulders. A lot of players have got different techniques, different routines, the way they go about it, but right now his confidence is shot upstairs. We've seen the Travis Cloakes and these guys. I think Travis Cloak and a few others have said that it purely is in their head. Nick has to overcome that, and look, he's that good a player. As I said before, he's a champion. He will. He'll work through this. We saw him work through it in the second half. He tries his guts out, and he's a great player. And we just the Saints just need him to have a big one, and for them just to win a game. Simple as that.
Just quickly, if he rang you and said, "Look, Duck, I'm having real problems with this," what would your answer be? What's your advice?
I've always been open to have a chat with Nick Riewoldt, have done over the years. Haven't done so this year, but if he ever gave me a call, he's a terrific fella and a great player. Be more than happy to have a chat with him, but that hasn't occurred. But no, look, he knows what to do. Just a matter of him doing it. Of course, he's been there and done this before. You don't play for as long as he's played, win 5 best and fairest, do what he's done without knowing what to do. And you know, it's not rocket science. Hard work, get out on the training track, and I'm sure that's what he'll be doing. But it'll be a pretty lonely place for him right now, today. But by the end of tonight, tomorrow, you'll see a new Nick Riewoldt. That's what you have to do. You can't dwell on it for too long. Nothing you can do about thinking about it. A bit like coming out of a relationship. You're going to dwell on it for a while, but at the end of the day, the sun comes up tomorrow.
One other incident we should talk about from the game, Ed Curnow, Carlton's sort of bright young prospect, injured his AC joint early in the game, had to come off, and then for reasons that are a bit murky at the moment, the Carlton medical staff sent him back on the ground, and he became then fair game for a number of the St Kilda players, including Leigh Montagna, who bumped him, tested out the injury, which has given rise to a debate today. Is that a bad look for the game, or is he fair game once he comes back on the ground?
Oh, the simple facts are he's fair game. If the doctors send him back out onto the ground, then he's declared fit. You know, if they had to use the sub, for instance, if the sub had already been used and then they sent him back out onto the ground, although the players out there remembering, they don't know that. They don't know. They're not looking over and saying, oh, have they used the sub yet? They haven't used the sub yet. They're basically, in their heads, he's out on the ground, he's over that white line. The club doctors have declared him fit, then we can bump into him, and I think that's fair.
So there's some talk Montagna will be cited for doing what he's done. The AFL want to protect injured players.
Shouldn't be cited unless he's done anything illegal, unless he's hit him high, you know, behind the play. I don't see bumping into a player. It happens every second of every game. The ball can be up the other end of the ground. You see full-backs bumping full forwards. You see half-back flankers bumping half forwards. You see guys on centre wing bumping into one another before they run into the square. So, you know, this happens every second of every game. Now, if you're not allowed, how can you be cited? The guy's declared fit. Simple as that. No case to be answered.
Anything goes.
Well, anything goes. Within the rules. He hasn't done anything illegal. He's been declared fit. So I don't see the problem with that. And if he wasn't fit, then the person that should be cited is the doctor for sending him back out. Yeah. And so if anyone says, you know, this just isn't Australian-like, you shouldn't be doing that, well, the doctor shouldn't be sending him out there if he's not fit to play.
You were in Queensland at the weekend. It was an amazing game went on up there. Gold Coast played Brisbane, and I think that was up against Brisbane Broncos and Storm, wasn't it, up there?
Yep.
Gold Coast won their second game, and in fact sit above St Kilda on the ladder now.
Incredible. I was up there, and you're right. There was the other big game, the Broncos versus Melbourne Storm. So I think there was, I think they had a pretty good crowd there, 26,000, and just around the corner there was a big crowd for the Bronco game. Just unbelievable, because I think for those who gamble responsibly, but I think at one stage the Gold Coast were $10 to win that game, which is just unbelievable. And they've got a little bit of belief. Yeah. I know they were terrible the week before against the Bombers, and you know, coming off their win, you could probably expect that a little bit. They got a little bit carried away with themselves, but they're certainly those little barbs which we thought may have been, you know, set up between Simon Black and McKenna. But I tell you what, it was a terrific game and well done. And you know, Brennan, who we've all thought that has been always been a talented player, but probably not the most consistent player, has actually been really, really good for the Gold Coast Suns, and he really, I suppose he really stuck it up. Brisbane,
like Teddy.
Yeah, he got criticised a bit during the week, came out and really performed when in other times probably hasn't done so. So fantastic.
Look, let's have a look at the big game coming up this week, Friday night at the MCG, Collingwood and Geelong. They should get 90,000, but the weather forecast's pretty miserable, so whether they'll all brave the cold, I'm not sure. Darren Jolly will miss again for Collingwood, their number one ruckman. Will Minson, I think, in his absence, playing for the Bulldogs a couple of weeks ago, got some record number of hit-outs. Is the ruck the one area of vulnerability for Collingwood? Because presumably Cameron Wood will be up against Ottens this week.
Oh, look, Ottens is a terrific player in good form, but look, they're so good through the midfield, Collingwood, that they can read it off the other ruckman. It doesn't matter. They're just very good. This is going to be a terrific game. Cats flying. They were great on the weekend. I honestly think that even though Jolly's out, like I said, they're just so good through that area. They're playing good team footy. When they get challenged, they're able to perform. They will see this as their big challenge now. I think Anzac Day was the one that they really sort of had their sights on. I think they'll have their sights on this one. They want to show everyone that they're still the best side in the comp. That's why I think Collingwood will be just a little bit too good.
And strengthen the midfield, is that sort of the main reason?
Oh, well, look, that's where the Cats are playing so well. Right now, all the Cats' very best players are playing well, and that's what you want. You want your best players, your older players, your experienced players, and then the younger players follow suit. That's what the Cats are doing so well at the moment. Collingwood do it well all over the ground, and when they get challenged, they've just got that ability to kick quick goals. And I just think all over the ground, Collingwood's pressure and the fact that they've been the best side for the last couple of years is a reason why they'll just pip the Cats. But really looking forward to it. It'll be a great game to watch.
The bye doesn't sway. I mean, having a week off and then coming into a match of that intensity won't affect the bye.
No, I don't think so. Yep. We'll find out, but I don't think so. I think it'll be a great game.
Wayne Carey, thank you so much for your thoughts and look forward to speaking to you next week.
Thanks, Charlie.